Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and the first thing you notice is silence. No weight on your chest. No pressure from the mattress. Your blanket is floating above you like a ghost. You open your eyes and you race staring at the ceiling 3 feet away because your body has already drifted up. Your phone, your lamp, your dog, everything is hovering. Then you hear it, a low, global scream rising from every city on Earth at once. Gravity has completely disappeared for exactly 24 hours, starting right now. This is not a simulation. This is not a dream. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through every single terrifying, insane, and mind-blowing hour of that day. From the first floating heartbeat to the final second before everything slams back down. Tether yourself, because you're about to live through the day the Earth forgot how to fall. Let's start with the very first minutes, the moment your brain realizes physics just broke. You push off the ceiling in panic, spinning slowly like an astronaut who forgot his training. Your coffee mug drifts past your face, the liquid inside forming perfect floating spheres that shimmer in the morning light. You finally grab the doorframe and pull yourself into the hallway. Your family members are pinwheeling through the air, screaming, laughing, crying. Downstairs, the refrigerator door swings open and jars of jam orbit the kitchen like slow-motion asteroids. Outside your window. Absolute madness. Every car on your street is rising slowly at first, then faster bumpers scraping rooftops before lifting clear into the sky. People who were walking their dogs are now clinging to leashes as both owner and pet ascend together. A school bus full of kids floats upward, the yellow paint glinting in the sun while the driver desperately tries to steer with no traction. Sirens wail, but ambulances lift off before they reach anyone. In big cities it's apocalyptic art. The Eiffel Tower sways like a metronome, the Burj Khalifa flexes like a fishing rod, and the Statue of Liberty slowly tilts forward, torch pointing at the heavens. As if she's finally giving up. Scientists will later estimate that in the first 30 minutes alone, over 200 million people suffer broken bones, concussions, or worse just from colliding with floating furniture, street signs, and each other. By the 1-hour mark, the atmosphere itself starts betraying us. Without gravity holding it down, air begins to expand outward like a balloon someone just untied. At sea level you feel it first as a weird lightness in your lungs, then as actual difficulty breathing. Oxygen is literally diffusing away into space. Mountaineers on Everest suddenly have more air than people in Manhattan. Weather goes berserk, clouds rise thousands of feet in minutes, forming bizarre vertical towers. Rain doesn't fall, it hangs in giant shimmering orbs that merge into floating lakes in the sky. And the oceans, oh, the oceans. Water molecules no longer feel Earth's pull, so the entire surface of every sea, lake, and river bulges upward into colossal liquid spheres. The Pacific Ocean forms a water mountain taller than Everest that starts drifting toward Asia. Coastal cities vanish under slow-motion tsunamis the size of countries. Florida is simply gone, swallowed by a drifting blob of seawater that engulfs Miami, Orlando, and half the peninsula in one silent, surreal gulp. Fish swim inside transparent walls of water, sharks suspended mid-hunt like living sculptures. Whales drift above what used to be Los Angeles, gently bumping into drifting palm trees. Mid-morning, transportation becomes a cosmic joke. Every single airplane in the sky, about 15,000 at any given moment, suddenly loses the need for wings. They rocket upward at insane speeds because their engines are still pushing forward, but nothing is pulling them down. Pilots cut throttles, but momentum carries them higher and higher. Some planes reach the edge of space before fuel runs out, and they begin an eternal drift as aluminum coffins. On the ground, high-speed trains in Japan and Europe tear free of their tracks and surf there like metallic whales. Shipping containers from ports lift off in perfect rectangular flocks, blocking out the sun over Singapore and Rotterdam. The International Space Station crew watches in horror as the blue marble below them turns into a snow globe somebody shook too hard. By noon, society starts fracturing in real time. Power plants shut down because cooling water floats out of reservoirs. Nuclear reactors scram automatically, but some melt down anyway when backup systems fail in 0G. The internet dies within 90 minutes. Undersea cables snap as the seabed shifts, satellites drift out of orbit, cell towers topple upward like dominoes. Stock markets crash harder than 1929, except the traders themselves are floating around their trading floors clutching laptops that no longer connect to anything. Billionaires on yachts watch their vessels rise gently into the sky. Champagne flutes orbiting their heads like drunk satellites. Governments issue emergency broadcasts telling people to secure themselves to fixed objects, but almost nothing is fixed anymore. In supermarkets, entire aisles of food orbit the ceiling. People swim through there grabbing floating boxes of cereal like it's the world's most stressful game of asteroid mining. Afternoon brings the creepiest beauty you'll ever witness. The entire crust of the Earth starts to decompress. Dirt, sand, and rocks lift off in slow-motion dust storms that never settle. The Sahara Desert becomes a golden cloud stretching from Morocco to Egypt. Forests uproot. Giant redwoods in California drift upward, still clutching their root balls, creating floating islands of greenery. Animals adapt in surreal ways. Flocks of birds learn to swim through the air like fish. Squirrels leap hundreds of feet between floating branches, and house cats discover they can now pounce across the entire neighborhoods in a single bound. Children, at least the ones who aren't terrified, start treating the apocalypse like the best playground ever. Social media, for the few minutes it still worked, exploded with videos of kids doing zero-G backflips off rooftops. Then comes the twist that changes everything. Around 6 p.m. Universal Time, radio telescopes and floating observatories pick up a repeating signal from the direction of Sagittarius, a star, the black hole at the center of our galaxy. When they finally decode it, the message is only 11 words long, repeated in every human language simultaneously. 24-hour test of structural integrity. Do not interfere. Results recorded. That's it. The entire event was an experiment. By whom or what? We never find out. But the implication is clear. Some intelligence wanted to know if sentient life could survive the temporary removal of one of the fundamental forces. Humanity has about 6 hours left to decide how to respond. Do we launch every nuke we have at the galactic center in pointless rage? Do we broadcast a message begging for mercy? Or do we prove we're worthy by staying calm, helping each other, and showing we can adapt? World leaders hold the first ever zero-G emergency summit, tethered to the walls of the United Nations building that's now slowly spinning like a top. Fights break out, literally floating fistfights between nations that want to retaliate and those that want to negotiate. As night falls on this weightless world, something deeply human emerges. Strangers tie themselves together with extension cords and garden hoses, forming human chains, thousands strong, drifting above cities. People share floating water bottles, pass oxygen masks hand to hand, sing songs in 100 languages. In Central Park, a choir of 10,000 people forms a perfect sphere, holding hands and singing Imagine while orbiting a levitating Statue of Liberty torch someone managed to rescue. It's the most beautiful and heartbreaking moment in human history. The final hour is pure tension. Scientists calculate that when gravity snaps back at exactly the 24-hour mark, everything currently aloft will fall from whatever altitude it reached. That means objects at 100 kilometers up will hit terminal velocity and impact like meteorites. Cities prepare as best they can. People burrow into basements, strap themselves to the heaviest furniture they can find, pray. Some accept their fate and spend the last minutes telling loved ones goodbye on whatever radio bands still work. Then, at 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 58 seconds, nothing. 2 extra seconds of silence that feel like eternity. And then, slam. Gravity returns all at once, everywhere, no warning. The sound is indescribable, a planet-wide thunderclap as Earth collapses back into place. Trillions of tons of water, rock, cars, and people fall out of the sky simultaneously. The impact registers 9.8 on the Richter scale in every country at once. Tsunamis, the height of mountains, race inland as floating oceans crash down. The death toll is catastrophic. Estimates range from 2 to 4 billion in the first 10 minutes of Re-Gravitation alone. But humanity survives, barely. In the weeks that follow, we rebuild with a new religion. Gravity is not a law, it's a privilege. Every schoolchild learns the 11-word message by heart. We pour trillions into space colonization because we now know the universe can turn us off like a light switch. New holidays are born, Weightless Day, where people jump off trampolines at the exact minute gravity returned, just to feel that drop one more time. And floating becomes the universal symbol of hope. You see it in murals, tattoos, flags. So here is the question I need you to decide. If they send the signal again tomorrow, same 24 hours. Same rules, would you spend those hours trying to build a rocket and escape Earth forever to live in permanent zero-G among the stars, or would you stay and fight to protect the only planet we've got, no matter the cost? Type escape or fight in the comments right now. The side with the most votes gets a full sequel breaking down exactly what happens next. Smash the like button if you're still processing this, subscribe if you want more insane what-ifs that keep you up at night, and turn on notifications because you do not want to miss what's coming. I'll see you in the comments. Stay grounded. For now.